Morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over the 5 best herb farms right now. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Now after the last few months, basically a lot of herb prices have actually dropped quite dramatically. This is due to basically multi-boxing and also a load more people actually farming up different types of things in order to get their Brutosaur. That means that a lot of the supply is increasing and the demand is just staying the same, kind of. That means that the price has dropped quite dramatically, and there is some changes when it comes towards different types of herbs and minerals that you can actually farm up in the game. Now primarily we'll be actually focusing on herbalism in this one, so that being the case, let's jump into number 1, which is Heart Blossom. Now Heart Blossom can be found in Deep Home and the route is quite easy. All you really have to do is just fly around on the route on the screen, and pretty much it's a really easy way in order to actually make a sizable amount of gold. The next thing of note that you will be getting, however, is you will also be getting quite a substantial amount of CINDERBLOOM as well as Heart Blossom. This incredibly increases the gold per hour for this actual farm, as CINDERBLOOM is used quite a bit when it comes towards things like the Vial of the Sands and the Potion of Treasure Finding. The next thing of note is the volatile life that you get along with this farm, and this comes from pretty much every single herb farm when it comes to Cataclysm. But the one thing I haven't found when it comes to the Heart Blossom farm is that the nodes aren't that far apart. That means you can gather more per hour in the route, and basically once you've done one lap, all of the herbs have actually respawned. That's pretty good when it actually comes to basically just farming in general, as more nodes means more materials, which equals in more gold, so to speak. Now that being the case, let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2 and coming back from the dead is the GROMSBLOOD farm. Now this one can actually be farmed up within the Fellwood, and this is located in Kalimdor. All you really have to do is just go along the outskirts of the entire zone and just follow it around as you would with a mining route. One key note is if you actually use mining and herbalism, you can increase your gold per hour, and paired with the Dark Moon Firewater, it's pretty damn easy. It just makes everything so much easier to actually farm up. You will never actually run out of materials in order to pick up on this actual farm, and you pick up a load of old world materials which actually still sell relatively well. The one keynote item obviously is GROMSBLOOD, as this is used to be milled in order to make other inscription materials, and also be able to turn into different types of potions which are used within the game. Now that being the case, GROMSBLOOD is a very easy farm in order to do, and I highly recommend actually doing it. Now coming in at number 3 is a oldie but a goodie, and I've talked about it quite a lot, and that is the AZSHARAS Vale farm. One is located in the abyssal depths within Vashir. Now all you really have to do is follow the route on the screen, and it's primarily a really easy route. It's actually quite short. So what I would actually recommend doing is actually pairing this with mining to increase your overall gold per hour, as you are able to pick up quite a lot of obsidian ore as well as a side note. The next thing of note that you actually will be getting alongside the AZSHARAS Vale farm is obviously quite a lot of AZSHARAS Vale, but also a lot of Storm's Vine. Storm Vine can actually be sold on the auction house for a reasonable amount of gold. It's usually roughly around about 2/3 of the price of the AZSHARAS Vale, so just bear that one in mind. And overall, you'll be getting quite a lot of volatile life, as I stated within the first one of Heart Blossom. Other than that, this is a great farm and always has been a very reliable way in order to make a decent amount of gold through pretty much most expansions since it actually got initially released in Cataclysm. Overall, this is a herb that is primarily used within the Vial of the Sands, and overall is a great way in order to make a reasonable amount of gold for your time invested. Now coming in at number 4 is a weird one, and that is the FADELEAF farm. Now FADELEAF can actually be farmed up in FADELEAF. Not only that, is a really easy way in order to make a reasonable amount of gold overall. I find this one to be a very easy way in order to make a reasonable amount of gold in a very short amount of time. This is primarily uncontested, as not many people actually farm up FADELEAF anymore. Other than that, you do get a wide variety of different types of actual herbs when you're actually doing this farm, like most vanilla ones. So you'll be getting, along with that, blindweed and so mountain silver sage. Early, you'll be getting a lot of fadeleaf, and overall is a great way in order to make a decent amount of gold for a very uncontested part in the market. This is because not many people actually farm up old world vanilla stuff, and overall you won't actually have that much competition on the auction house because of not many people are actually farming this. That means you'll be able to actually reset the market as well, and reset it for a price in which you feel reasonable. Obviously don't put it for like something like 100 gold per piece, because that's just completely stupid and not many people will actually buy it. There are people that will buy it, but not a lot of people will. So just bear that one in mind. Kind of like get the actual gold per hour if you're resetting the market and knock it up like of 25 to 50% of what it actually is. Now, other than that, the other thing of note coming in last on our list is CINDERBLOOM. Now, CINDERBLOOM can actually be farmed up within Mount Hyjal and is a really easy way in order to make a decent amount of gold. Not only is this used in the potion of treasure finding actual craft for alchemy, it is also used to create the vial of the sands, which is why it gets its value and also why it actually sells quite frequently. Now, CINDERBLOOM is one of the weird ones in which where it's a little bit harder to even get a hold of, or it's more tedious to get a hold of, might I say, out of all the other cataclysm herbs. Now, other than that, if you are able to stick with this route, you'll be getting a decently good size of gold per hour. Now, also Worth It already has a route built into it, but here is a route on the screen right now. You can also import the one from Worth It and use that one as well, as that one's providing to be quite good for your time invested. Now, other than that, guys, what I will say, however, for all of these different types of farms is, so along with these farms, as this is kind of like a general list. Now, that being the case, you can also double check these using the Worth It add-on in order to check whether it's actually worth it before you even go and do these farms. This is so you don't actually waste your time with actually something that isn't going to work on your specific server. So what I would say is just double check it on Worth It before you do them. Other than that, guys, that is pretty much all I have to say. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.